What are lava shells? This week I've got the fantastic Claire from Share Beauty Secrets with me today to tell me more about lava shells and her business. Thank you, Claire, for joining me.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. We've had a few Wi-Fi issues, but we've got there. Thank you for joining me today. For
No
anyone new
problem.
to it, what exactly are lava shells? What are they made from? And why do they work so effectively as a heat-based massage tool?
Okay, so yeah, lava shells are a massage tool. They originally were from the Philippines. We used to collect them from food waste, and then we would
Love
drill a little hole in them, and there would be a cap that would go over the top. But before you would sort of close them up, you would put a little heat source in. So just the mineral heat would pour into that with some hot water, and then you've got a hot shell for over an hour, which became an alternative to hot stones over 17 years ago when we launched. So we wanted to bring something to the industry that was a lovely, smooth, hygienic porcelain mold shell that became sort of an extension of a therapist's hands, but with beautiful heat.
So how does the lava shell massage work in practice, and how does it differ from? A lot of people already have heard of things like hot stone massage and obviously have hands only treatments. How does lava shell differentiate itself from that and work in practice?
Well, the main thing is you only need two shells to do an hour's massage. You can actually use one shell as an enhancement, or you can use two shells rotated to do hands-on and shell massage. So you can use them as you wish. The main thing is the heat is an exothermic heat. So when they activate, you've got an hour's worth of heat to come out of the shell. So you've always got a hot shell. You don't need to reheat it. You don't need to use a heater. You don't need any electricity. You can be very mobile, do it anywhere. We do a lot of concerts and things like that. We do within the spas, it's on skin, but we can also massage over clothes because we can walk anywhere with this beautiful heated tool, I guess, is the best way to describe it. It's got the shape of a therapist's thumb, it's got the palm of the hand, it's got the edges. So it gives you all the tools to basically create an extension to the therapist and to deliver an hour of heat, but you never place them. That's the most important thing. You never rest them on a client because the heat still needs to activate and come out. So you always do touch testing and then you massage with them. And then when you do rest them, not on the client, on the side of the bed, then they reheat themselves. So it's like magic. It just keeps coming. The heat just keeps coming in. So very, very easy, very portable, very hygienic because they're porcelain. So you don't have the worry of bacteria or anything attaching itself to the product. And just a beautiful, beautiful spa treatment.
Yeah, I mean, I used to love doing hot stone massages, but it's all the faff of getting all your stones and heating them up
Yeah,
and then are they too hot? Are they too cold? That kind of balance. You get a stable heat from it, I guess, because you know how much you're putting in, how much you're activating, and it lasts an hour, like you said.
exactly. Yeah. So you have it's the same thickness of The reason we went to porcelain mold shells, one because then it's vegan friendly, but also because then you're in control of your the thickness shell because the naturals came in all shapes and sizes, as you can imagine, and the heat just transforms straight into the client. So you know where you're at. You can always test it on yourself, and you don't need, like you say, any equipment. You don't need to. A lot of the spas. Well, we've trained over 10,000 beauty therapists and in over 2,000 salons, spas, hotels now. Okay, it's mainly through the UK, but we have got some global ones like Necker Island and some beautiful ones we launch with. But we are a beautiful tool that allows deep massage. You don't have the cleaning time that you would have with your traditional hot stones, where you have to have 15 minutes to clean them at the end and an hour to heat them up. You don't leave your client's side. You just have your chef. It's your extension of your hand. Uh, but talking of hot stones, we actually have a hot stone replacement. So there
Hey,
is also, yeah, so you can now, a lot of the spas that have already got lava shells now have hot stones sitting aside. We call them thermobliss stones. And then you've got lava shells or thermobliss shells. People call them slightly different names. But then you put your heat inside exactly the same, pour your heat in, close your stone, and then you've then got, again, another massage tool. Again, you still never place them, but they are a beautiful way. Um, I guess interacting with those clients that are used to the name hot stones, but the spas want to have the benefit of the hygiene, the ease, the seamless touch, and all the lovely things that come with using any of our heated tools.
That's interesting because people will automatically, if they've had hot stones, it would be easier, like you say, to give them a stone shape tool because then that's easier for the guest to understand rather than having maybe to change their view and say, oh, actually have a lava shell treatment. They can just go, oh, I'm having the same treatment. And you can use the stones and the lava shells on any part of the body, the face and things like that as well.
Yeah, everywhere on the body. We have different heat sachets. So we actually have a cooling gel that we can do hot and cold treatments. We have a facial blend. We have a medium blend for back massage. And then we have the really warm blend. We also can play around with the blends for therapists that maybe just want to do enhancement treatments. So they might start with an enhancement to introduce the heat to the client. And then the higher the heat, the longer the heat will last. So there's so much choice now where we can do we do pregnancy massage using a very, very gentle heat. We can do deep tissue massage. We can do hot and cold treatments with a rescue. We've done facials where we've joined partners with other facial ranges before. So we've been able to introduce that into salons. And the same with our products as well. So we have our own range of oils and creams and things that can enhance the treatment with essential oils or beautiful textures. But we're always open that other people may have other products that will also benefit from the beautiful heat, because as we know, when heat's on the skin, you're more relaxed, it pushes products into the skin, and everyone walks away feeling better. One of the key things, I guess, as a therapist, both tools allow the therapist not to always be using their hands and getting repetitive strain syndrome. You've got the shell to do the work, and actually you don't need to put much pressure at all to get the massage of the shell. It's so smooth, but it goes very, very deep as well. So they're so versatile. So basically, the therapist can use them as they wish, really.
That's amazing. I didn't even realize that you would have different heat strengths, I guess is what you would call it. You would have a more gentle one all the way through to sort of the warmer one. It's I just didn't realize that. That's incredible.
Yeah.
But from a training perspective, like what does it take to introduce lava shells into spa? Is the training long? Can any therapist do it? Is it online, in person? How does that all work?
Do as needed with each different spa, salon, mobile therapist. We've always said you need a level 3 qualification, so you need to be a trained beauty or massage therapist. And then we charge for either a day's training where we come on site for the bigger locations like your Champneys, your Centre Parks, your Ballantynes, the big hotel groups. We can go on site and train them. We even do college training where we do train the trainer with the lecturers and teachers, so we can do that, and then they train their students. So that's also an opportunity for CPD points and other things we can do like that. With your mobile therapists, they tend to want to come to a group setting. So we'll have locations across the country, and then we invite them to that. And we try and do a few regional across the year. Obviously, when we launched, we were so busy 17 years ago. Sometimes I think we have trained most of the country in the shells. Now there's so many people that use them, and that's I think the education is like the therapists are our army of supporters, really, because you know, small business that we are in, the way we've grown, it's been so organic from therapists telling therapists, clients asking for the treatment, and everything else that comes with it. So it's been there's so many different ways. We also do an online training now, so they can learn
Brilliant.
online, can't get to a venue. It's all accredited. And we also have a touch of Thermo Bliss, which is going to be something new that's coming in, where we're just going to introduce maybe just a one shell opportunity. So for all the people that haven't been able to get to the full day's training, even online, you have to still practice a few treatments, because for us, it's about using the shell safely and doing a very thorough treatment with the shell. So, yeah.
And so when the team is then trained and they're looking, you know, spa or has a sort of a hands-on massage, how do you suggest they add the lava shell and fit that as an upsell, or do they put it as an enhancement rather than a full menu overhaul? How do you see them transitioning to putting lava shell on?
Yeah, it really is dependent on the venue, what they're looking for. I mean, the classic is an alternative to hot stones. There's so many people now that didn't want the heaters, like you say, the the normal hot stones do absorb the bacteria and oil into a stone. There's so many operational issues, the
Mm.
worry of someone leaving a heat, all of those kind of things. So
Yeah.
ultimately, a lot of people do it as an instant replacement. It's your heat therapy that can replace something if they've already got a heat treatment. But if they haven't got a heat treatment, it's a great way of introducing heat. So whether it's a thermoblast stone, a lava shell, however they wish to do it, we now actually even have a sensory sleep massage where we have music to the massage. There's a rhythm. There's the shells. There's also stone. I think we've got over like 12 different versions of using a shell or stone in treatments now. So people can kind of cherry pick how they wish to use it. We've always had the best trainers. We've always done the best therapy. I myself was a therapist 30 years ago. So with the whole business is based around beauty therapy, massage therapists wanting to deliver the very best treatments into the industry. So we can advise them, but most spa managers or therapists have an idea why they have come to us. Because mainly, as I say, they come and find us when they know they need the treatment, or they get clients asking for the treatment. So all round, I think it can be, as I say, which there can be an enhancement, a full treatment, a back massage, a 90-minute massage. You have to use 3 shells to keep the heat.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's like bespoke to the person, the spa, what they're looking for, really.
And you're very, one thing I've picked up since meeting you, you're very therapist led. You mentioned just then that you were a therapist yourself. You know, I know that you're really keen on therapist well-being. How did Lava Shell, how can a spa manager or director sort of take that side of things and see the benefits of lava shells on team well-being?
Yeah, well, I think ultimately, I think when you are a therapist, you're always, as we would all know, we're kind, we're giving, we want to make people feel good. And I think my roots being having worked as a therapist at spas and salons like Champneys, worked on a cruise ship, worked in Harrods, worked across the industry, worked with all the big brands at the time like Declior, Carita. I've had quite a wide range of experience across every level of beauty therapy. So I've met so many beauty therapists, spa managers, directors, clients along my journey, and ultimately everyone wants to give lovely treatments because you are a beauty therapist or a massage therapist, and that's your in your soul to do that. But also you need to protect yourself, and so many therapists I meet are burnt out, they're tired, they don't have massage, they don't look after themselves because they're so busy treating everyone else. And even the energy you have to give a client talking to them, it's such a lot, it's such a special job to do, but there's a lot involved in being someone that's active all day and offering treatments all day. So I would say it's a kind of a wellness tool for your therapist. Protect their hands, give them a lovely treatment to do. It's very relaxing. You can zen out very quickly. Beautiful music. You get into the rhythm, and it gives that therapist that moment of calm without it being exhausting, because obviously massage is tiring, and depending if you're doing sports massage as well, or if you're doing men's treatments, that can obviously be slightly harder on the therapist, because some of them are a lot stronger, and they're quite, they can be quite built up with their muscles. So you're using basically the shell to allow the therapist to do the work and do the heat, so it actually relaxes the muscle first, allowing the therapist then to mold the muscle, break down any tension without actually exhausting themselves. So yeah, it's really, really special.
And you were saying like one of the edges is almost like the thumb, so they can kind of work in with it, I guess. And you also
Yeah,
touched on like they can give treatments outside of the treatment room because you can do it clothed and do sort of shorter
exactly.
treatments.
Yeah, that's something that's coming up quite a lot actually. We've been supporting events like Capital FM, Summertime, Wintertime Ball, where we do the backstage massage on the artist, on the dancers, anyone
Yeah.
that needs a bit of kind of a quick. Yeah, it's lovely, and there's so many people that now are hooked, that we've met when we've been doing the massages, that keep coming back to us like outside of that event now, because it's really good. We've gone on tour with some bands and stuff like that. So from a fun point of view, obviously, it's always good to kind of do the fun things that will allow me to mix work and then also go and enjoy a concert and have a bit of fun with my daughter as well. But ultimately, in a business environment, you could walk around a spa, a reception area, go up to a client and put it on their shoulders, let them relax. I've done so many people, I can't name drop, but where you are in a position where you wouldn't normally go and touch them, but when you've got a shell, you say, "Oh, do you want to hold my hot shell? And they touch it and like, oh, that's lovely. And then I'm massaging their shoulders. And before I know it, they're either Instagramming it or, they're asking to book a full treatment. So it's very powerful because it shocks people a little bit. They can't believe you've got this lovely hot shell in your hand and there's no heating around, there's no water. It's literally activated by the minerals with tap water, but once activated, obviously, then it's hot for the hour. So yeah, this creates a great talking point. And actually, in some spas, they do set up the seated chairs over clothes, and that's a great visual as well because then people do look and say, "Wow, what's that? I want that." It's so lovely to see, and the reaction's always very strong. But yes, we are something that can be used in any form, really, as long as you're doing massage and you've got a good therapist that wants to treat someone. The shell is an absolute, or the stones are a great addition.
Yeah, and I think if you do have a treatment chair in like a reception area, people are inquisitive, aren't they? If there's someone there having a little bit of a treatment, they, oh, what's that? A lot of what we do in massage, we can't take out of the out of the treatment room necessarily because
Yeah.
obviously that, hand and arm, I appreciate, or maybe foot and leg, but you can't because you don't want that person to be, with their clothes, top half of their clothes off and stuff. So this is a great way, I guess,
Yeah.
for people who are perhaps a bit more conscious to come and have a go and open up massage and treatments outside of your normal spa guest.
Exactly.
And then
Yeah, exactly. And we've had reflexology and all sorts of other like additions. Like I say, they can be used on the face alongside a facial, so really penetrates all the products into the skin. Anything that someone wants to do that involves warmth, heat, and touch. This is, amazing for that for sure.
So let's move on to the numbers bit. So, because I think people aren't always very sure, people tend to, I think, stick to more hands-on massage because they're like, oh, there's an extra cost to doing this. Or so how should spa managers think about the cost of sales for lava shell treatments compared to traditional massage?
Yeah, so we've always said it's been quite interesting actually, because in hindsight, there is an argument that would say it's cheaper to do a shell massage than a traditional hot stone massage because of the time that's saved. So we obviously there is a cost for everything. Everything that you use, whatever heat sachet you pick, is around £3, just over £3
Huh?
for a heat. So you want to heat one shell, it's £3, two, it's six, etc. So you find that we always say, always add about £15 onto your treatment cost when you're doing a heat enhancement because it is a specialised treatment, it is a luxury treatment, and it's very results driven. So that in its own right allows you've already made more money than you've paid out. So that's a real bonus. And then with the heating element, with the hot stones, you don't have to set them up an hour before. You don't have to clean in at the end. Every spa needs to clean their stones after use, and they're not quick to clean, especially if you've had to use 12 or 15 stones and you need to clean them properly. That's a lot of cleaning, and you can't do them back to back like you can with lava shells. You use an antibacterial wipe, run them under the tap, you take the little plug off, and then you put the minerals in the bin, and then you're ready for your next client. So it's so easy. It's back to back instant treatments. It's very, very powerful for just increasing revenue. We also have a lot of people that can have a shell on the side in the room, so they might not have come in for a large shell, but do you like an upgrade? So you've got the opportunity on the spot to upgrade. And I think once they feel one heat, one shell, the next treatment they will say, oh, I'd like the full experience, please. So it's a really good way of upgrading. So you don't lose money, but we always say just add that extra to cover your costs onto your treatment menu.
You were just saying there, like you can just upgrade one because you could add it on. If you had a traditional hands-on massage booked, you could just add it on almost instantly because you're just putting the activator, the minerals in there, the water, and then it's good to go. And you can do just
Yeah.
one shell and add that on.
Yeah, exactly that. The other thing that we've got is obviously our self-heating eye masks that we launched. I opened one up earlier. These are another great enhancement. So we're finding a lot of spas use these in every single massage. It's warm, it lasts over half an hour, they're soft. So you pop this extra heat element on while you're having your massage over your eyes. client gets relaxed, and then we've also got an upgrade. So now you're not just having a lava shell, you're also having a box of eye masks at the end that you might want to take home. So they've got the retail revenue from our treatments. Although saying that now, we find spas use them in relax rooms, as upgrade gifts, giving home gifts. They're using them everywhere, and actually in every treatment. They're being used so widely because they're so effective to switch the mind down and relax. So that's another thing with our treatments. We're all about heat therapy, sound therapy. The Shared Beauty Secrets obviously is the company that we launched 17 years ago, but Sensory Retreats was launched in COVID to give people this home experience so that they're allowed to have a reason to relax at home, but then everything kind of resonates and brings the client to think, oh, where did I have that? Oh yes, I want to go back to that spa and experience the whole thing. So that's quite a strong story for us with the add-ons of the extra heat. We also actually have face mask as well, like a self-heating face mask. So again, we can use gua shas. We've got things like gua sha tools. We make our own massage oil, our facial oil. We've got massage oil. We've got more than just lava shells now. We've got beautiful candles. We have everything, but we focus mainly on educating people on massage and well-being, and then everything else is just an added value. And we even do Camellia's tea that we use at the end of treatment. So we work with them as a kind of like, have your tea, have your sensory touch. So it's a very treatments are very advanced. Our protocols are incredible, and there's so many different versions. Like I say, that we either can mold to suit the spa, or that we have ready made for them. They can go away and kind of just introduce as they are.
I love the eye masks. I have a really great picture of my best friend and I who have young children, and I whipped out a mask and we had a spa girls spa thing together. She was like, "This is brilliant. This is amazing. It's just such a nice, like you say, add-on that you can just do because there's no faffing. Yeah, but it just is like, oh, amazing, instant switch off, which I guess is what you want during the
Yeah,
massage, isn't it? You want the guest to switch
absolutely.
off.
Yeah, really, and it is so soothing. It's like I always feel like I sometimes wonder if I'm solar powered. I'm much happier when the sun's shining, when I can feel warmth. I always feel warm, and I think having that heat opportunity is just such a lovely add-on to the client, and also it gives, going back to therapists, what you mentioned earlier about how do we help their mental well-being and calm them down a little bit more. You're actually closing the client's eyes, which then kind of closes them from talking because they're not looking up at you, having a conversation.
Mm.
It's kind of shut down. It's like, okay, your eye mask is going on now and it's your time. And then, like I say, it allows them to also have the opportunity to retail. We have so many different versions now. We've got one that's launched, actually, this one is actually at the moment just launched at Champneys. We've just done a press launch with them because we collaborated with a lovely girl called Molly Marsh and her sister Maisie Marsh, that are known for being on TV and kind of into really good wellness things. And they really believed in the number 1111, which resonates with me about taking a moment, having a pause, making a wish. There's something special about the number 1111. When you know it, you know it. And if you don't, your people will see it and now start seeing it. And it will kind of, it resonates that you're always on the right path. But I've linked it to meditation, well-being. And at the back, there's a sound bath gift of like you can download this beautiful sound bath from Lisa Pooley, who plays this music, and suddenly you've got your eye mask, you've got sound bath, and like spas like Champions are using it as like another addition, another offering. So something that's a very simple offering does evolve. And the same with our sleep masks. We've got a beautiful pianist called Christina that's done I love the music on the back. I don't know if you've listened to the music on the back of this. It takes me into another world. You have to listen to the music on here. And that's what we run the treatment sensory sleep around. So we're very focused on sleeping, turn down service in hotels, but also in treatment. So it's another beautiful link. And then again, we've got the spa scent. So this one was made because there's 5 different colours and scents in this box. So again, it can be like curated. So the clients can come in and say, well, what do I like the most? Lavender, jasmine, citrus, which one do I feel the need for today? And so it makes everything a little bit more personable and special, and good opportunities, really.
You touched on the in-room element there as well, and I think that's another key thing is how do we get spa out of the spa and into the room? We can do that by the tying in the heat, bringing the heat out of the spa. They can then, like you say, hook on an eye mask, scan the QR code, and listen to the music. The one I listened to with my friend, who'd done a collaboration with Mindstream. So
Right,
we
yeah.
had that one on our QR code when we did ours, and I think but I remember that because you tie these things in, and then you think, oh, actually, maybe I'll go to the spa and have a treatment, and you go. It's that pathway
Absolutely.
between the two businesses. Um,
It
I guess
is, yeah.
I guess if a spa is considering, using lava shells and masks before into their rooms and things, what would you say is the biggest missed opportunity when it's not implemented strategically, and they just don't plan the way that they put it in?
I would say the most important thing is training, is get the therapists using the treatment and massaging each other so that they get that opportunity to touch the shells, understand the heat, because it's an easy routine to learn, but it also is it's understanding the heat of the shell. They have the way it activates and cools, and once you master it, it's just seamless. But having a couple of treatments to do as soon as you've trained is the best thing, because you want them to be confident. You want them to give the client that best experience. You want them to understand at what point is the best, deepest heat to use. So I think mainly I would say it's that, and I just to have someone display, because if you pop that, on the reception desk, someone will pick it up and wonder what it is. And I think maybe now that we were featured on The Apprentice years ago, we were quite known for getting quite a lot of exposure to that. And we've trained, like I say, 10,000 beauty therapists. We've got 2,000 locations using our product. Our name has grown a lot from the first year. Our first 100 accounts, I remember, was such a big milestone for me. Being a beauty therapist and taking such a big jump into launching my own business, and now seeing where we've reached, it's incredible. And I think we now have that following that we didn't have when I first launched. I couldn't have promised someone that someone would walk in and ask for it. But now people do ask for it, and I know when they have it on their menus, they won't go back to anything else. So that's what we're told, that once they have a lava shell, you don't want a different treatment. Anything to do with heat, massage, relaxation, they'll always pick a lava shell. And I think that's just really lovely to have that, and all the awareness we try and bring up. Our eye master now on QVC, so whenever I get asked what's my background, I can always say, oh well, been in the industry 30 years, started as a beauty therapist, and I can tell that story, and then I link as much awareness back to my spas through there as well. So through our celebrity contacts, our events, everything that we do, everything I do is always trying to bring back to the spas and salons the brand, because when you're self-funded, when you're a small team, when you're juggling, like most people, being a mum, running a business, trying to make the right decisions on everything, I always want to give back to those clients that have supported us on our journey. So anything I can do, we are good at creating posters and giving them wording and like linking them where we can. So I would say basically just use what we've got. We've got thousands of photos, we've got videos, and just put them out and use them, share them with your clients, because I could send anyone one of our clips of our video, and it could be anyone, and they will then say, can I
Brilliant.
book a treatment? They're in. Yeah.
That's super helpful, isn't it? Because if you've got all the social media content and things like that, it's easy to then, that's where people are looking, isn't it? People want to see what the experience is before they experience it. They want to hold, like you say, the shell before they experience it. All of these like touch points and tactile moments bring the treatment to life. And Claire, you are an incredible entrepreneur as well. Like I think your story of finding lava shells those years ago and then bringing them to the industry and everything you do is incredible. You really are an inspiration, Claire. Thank you.
Very sweet. Thank you very much. I enjoy. I love it. It's passion led, and I think it's led to like the children's wellness range I did with the Elfland UK launching. We wrote a book, and then we did all these lovely things from that. So I love that side. We had magic wish wands of wellness. We had elf eyes, which because I sent them
We
to you
have.
actually. Magic
I have wands and heart stones at home. We love it.
heart Yeah, I love it. So for me, that is that I love that. I love creating something. I enjoy that so much. Something that I don't know where it comes from. Just I don't know. It just appears in my brain, and I need to do that. Whether it's the right thing to do or not, whether we've got the budget, it never stops me. I just say I've got to do it and see where it goes, because I always believe in fate. I always believe that people come to us at the right time. I believe we work hard, but the right people connect. And like even moments with you when we've had chats, and there's everyone has a moment where that you're all on the same journey, just at different times and different paths. And I think launching things and having like the L5s, and then even our eye mask, our wraparound, this was again an evolution of heat and things. So I love that. But I can't say any more, but I have something that I might be launching very soon that
Oh,
is
you
groundbreaking.
can't leave it like that.
I Honestly, you cannot believe, if going back 17 years of finding this beautiful shell and wondering why has no one done more with this beautiful product, and having that. I was a beauty therapist. I'd never run my own company. I went on a mission. I quit my job and I said, that's it. I'm going to just launch and I'm going to go for it. But something's come um, into, into the space I'm in right now. That's very, very exciting. So I can't say too much, but if I can show you that, if it does come to light, I
Yes.
promise you it's groundbreaking. And that will be the new lava shelves, but in a different way. It's not massage related, it's something else. So yeah, I'll leave you with that thought.
Wow.
And I will
Yeah.
definitely tell you.
What a
Yeah,
cliffhanger.
I will ring yeah, cliffhanger. Dun, dun, dun. So
On that note,
yeah, very
wow.
excited.
I look forward to seeing what this is, because if it's anything to do that what you've done so far, I'm sure it'll be incredible. I'm going to. There's nothing more I can add to that, because now you've left me on a cliffhanger. But, but thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.
That was great.